Hi y'all, this is Larry from Deep South Texas, and today we're going to make southern biscuits and sausage gravy. Now my wife is the one who always makes the biscuits. I make the yeast breads, she makes biscuits, and her biscuits are pretty good. But she's going to help me out and give me a little bit of direction along the way when I'm making biscuits today. So let's get started and see how it goes. So here are the ingredients. We have 2 cups of all-purpose flour and 1 cup of White Lilly self-rising flour. We have 1.5 tablespoons of sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar. We have a 1.5 cups of buttermilk and 1.5 sticks of cold butter, and I'll be grating that cold butter up. Okay, let's get these biscuits mixed up. I have the flour here. Toss in the cream of tartar, the sugar, that was the baking powder and the sugar, now the cream of tartar, and the salt, and then we're going to mix that all together with the flour. Then we're going to add our 1.5 sticks of grated butter. And mix that in with the flour. Break it up a little bit. I think it needs to be a little cooler, but when I'm messing around trying to make the video, it takes a little bit more time, so it's probably not as cold as when my wife makes these. So we get that sort of mixed in until we have sort of no larger than pea-sized chunks of butter in there. Just using a fork for this. You could use a pastry knife or a couple butter knives, I guess. And now we'll get ready to add the buttermilk. Okay, now we'll make a well in our bowl. We'll put in our buttermilk. And we'll lightly incorporate the flour butter mixture into the buttermilk. Not stirring too much, just enough to get all the ingredients incorporated. Now we have a lightly floured board here, and we're going to just roll our dough out onto the board. And then we're going to just lightly work it together into a ball. You don't want to overwork it at this point, and I don't have experienced hands for this. So then we're going to just try to get it flat. And it's probably about an inch thick here. Now we just fold it over and sort of push it down, and we'll do that about 6 times. Yeah, that feels a lot better. Okay, now we're going to roll it out till it's about 3/4 inches thick. Okay, I think that's about it. Okay, let's cut out our biscuits. We have a biscuit cutter here my wife just picked up recently. And I'm going to put them in a pan. The pan is not greased. And when I move them to the pan, I kind of scrunch them up a little bit around the edges till I can get 3 to fit in a row. They need to be touching together to help them rise upwards. Now I have a little bit of dough left here. We'll kind of scrunch it together. Pat it down with our hands and cut a couple more. And I think I can get one more out of there yet. We'll do that again. These won't be quite as pretty, but they'll taste fine. All right, let's get those in the pan as well. Now I have the oven preheated to 460 degrees, and we're going to put these straight into the oven. So we're going to have those in the oven for about 10 minutes, and that'll give me time to get this mess cleaned up. We'll see you in 10 minutes. Well, I've had them in the oven for 12 minutes. So let's take a look and see how they're doing. I want them a little bit brown on top. I think they're looking pretty good. Well, let's take a closer look at these biscuits. As you can see, the first 6 that we cut out of the dough, they look wonderful. The ones I had to kind of string together and put in the pan, they don't look quite as nice, but they'll taste just as good. And if we put a little sausage gravy on them, You won't know the difference. I'd say those are some pretty successful biscuits. Let's get started on that sausage gravy. What I have here is just some store brand breakfast sausage. It's not the hot kind, but we like it. It's seasoned fairly well. Let's get that in the pan. Break that up a little bit. And while we're browning the sausage, we'll put in about an 1/8 teaspoon of pepper flakes and a pinch of poultry seasoning. And I'm going to put in about a 1/16 of a teaspoon. Call that a pinch. And we just continue browning the sausage. So the sausage is pretty well browned. Now we're going to add a teaspoon of salt, a little pepper, and we may add more pepper later, but just to get it going. And then we have 2½ tablespoons of flour. And then we're just going to cook that flour for a little bit in here with the sausage. So we have that flour cooked a little bit in with the sausage. Now we're going to add in 3 cups of milk. And we're just going to cook this and stir it until it thickens up. And probably use a whisk while we're doing this as well. Well, our sausage gravy has thickened up quite nicely. I hope you can see the bubbles coming up in the pan. We're just going to turn the heat off and let it set for a couple minutes. Oh, you can also taste it at this point to see if it's to your liking. I like mine a little bit spicier, so I'll probably put some more salt and pepper on when I put it on the biscuit. But the rest of the family, this is great for them. So we'll get back when we're ready to put this on the biscuit. Okay, our gravy is ready, and we have our biscuit on the plate. Let's dig in. Okay, here's our biscuit. Let's break it in half. Oh, that looks good. And then put some of our sausage gravy on it. Oh boy, that looks great. Okay, let's give this biscuits and gravy a try. It looks pretty good. It is good. It is good. Need to give this a try. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.